back.
Episode 40. Here we go. We're going to pour one out because it's on a 4D. Yeah. Episode 40. Rangers of the Grid. This is Richard Carrion. We got Marcus Morton in the building.
We back.
We back, and we told y'all we was coming with some more Dino Thunder. And this one's going to be one with some heat because Marcus got some heat to spray about that Dino Thunder, especially that White Dino Thunder. But before we go in, before we hit that record button and that cool little intro went on there, we was talking and we're like, man, there ain't no Ranger news really at all, like, going on. And, I got to thinking, Marcus got to talking and thinking, that to me, and this is why I was telling him I'm going to save this for the episode. That got me to thinking that's scary, because if I'm a company, Hasbro, like me and Marcus talking, Hasbro basically said they on ice.
Yeah.
Right. They like some fish on ice right now. We don't know if we're going to use them for this, or we don't know if we're going to chop them up for something else. And technically, they chopping them up for McFarlane in a minute. But this is the part where I'm like, dang, this is scary. You got Hasbro, one of the biggest toy makers, arguably the biggest toy maker in the world.
Yes.
Right. Who's admittedly now going to be cutting back in general on toys.
Okay.
Right. They are putting that brand on ice. Okay. If I'm another brand and I'm like a big brand, why would I want to buy this brand that seems to have no juice?
Yeah.
Right? Like right now, why would I want to buy this brand? And I'm talking big companies, right? Your Mattels, these people right now. Like, truth be told, I want Power Rangers to, and I'm talking toys, right? As far as films go, I think there might be some juice when the film hits, right?
Yeah.
But I'm talking as far as the figures and stuff like that right now, because remember, it is a kid's show. It's almost like you have to go with your lower brands that are on the rise, right? Like, you almost have to get with the low brand on the rise that for them, you're considered a big brand. For them, you're considered like something, I don't want to say special, but special, right? Like, you're a priority to them. Right? And it sucks with Hasbro. Power Rangers is not a priority to Hasbro. If we go look on the shelves, we go to that other side, right? Because I don't know, like, if people notice, if you go to a Target, that whole wall is Hasbro. Usually the other side is Mattel. And the side across from it, right now, I believe, is like a Jazzwares type thing, with Fortnite and all that. But, like, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Marvel, right? Those take priority. You got, and then you got the kid brands, right? Like the little kid brands, right? Is it My Little Pony? Who is it?
Yeah. They've got My Little Pony.
They got like the other kid brands, right? That are big, Mattel's got like Jurassic Park, WWE, Barbie. They got some big stuff too, right? But I think about it in that sense of like, if I'm another brand that's, I guess you'd say, smaller, like in a way I was like, man, I wish Jazzwares could pick them up, but Jazzwares has like Fortnite and they got Pokemon. But look what they did for Pokemon. Pokemon's putting out figures like crazy now.
Yeah.
It's almost in a sense of like for collectors, like, if they were with another brand, you'd probably get more because they're more of a priority.
I'll say this. Because this is ultimately the thing. You mentioned how like there's no juice there. That's all due to, honestly, to Hasbro. That's all Hasbro's doing. You can't tell me that a franchise with 30 years of history has no juice. That it's just kind of like, it's done. No, you're just using, like, it's got the juice. You just left it in the fridge and you just put it back there. and you've put other stuff in front of it.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real, dude. Look at what happened 10 years ago for the 20th anniversary. You had freaking Rangers, like all these Red Rangers filming in New York City on subways, playing basketball in neighborhoods, a freaking balloon on the Macy's Day Parade,
Mm-hmm.
releasing figs of all these Red Rangers and Special Rangers, like Green Ranger, White Ranger, the Gold Ranger. Those were those special ones that came out, besides just all the other Red Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me, like, Hasbro, not you. I'm talking about
Oh
Hasbro.
no, I get it. Yeah.
Like, Hasbro, don't tell me, ooh, we don't think it's marketable or like a thing for us. No. You're choosing to ignore it. Like I said on someone's post one time when they were like, when all the toys were popping up and like Ross's and all that, and they're like, oh man, I guess Power Rangers really is done if it's just being like that. It's like, no. That's all Hasbro. They're choosing not to do anything. Like, and especially, dude, we saw how big, regardless of how good or, like, I never expect Rangers to be this, like, amazing, critically acclaimed show, like, but, like, so no matter how good or corny or bad Once and Always was, there was a lot of traction behind it.
Oh, yeah.
Why are we not capitalizing on that more? And then with the fact that you have, let's be real, like, the main star of Once and Always, Billy, he's popping up in your 30th anniversary season for a good chunk of it. Like, he's honestly in it more than I expected.
Oh, yeah.
So with that, it was kind of like why you've got this momentum, balls in your court. Why aren't you pulling the trigger?
Mm-hmm.
You
that to me, you're right. It's on Hasbro. Like,
it is.
I don't. Also, I guess we're talking, toys and branding and all that. Like, there's like certain models out there that I think are profitable. And truth be told, I don't know if Hasbro's, what they're doing with Power Rangers right now is profitable for them. Right?
Well,
it's not profitable.
It's not because they're not doing anything.
No, but like when they were, like, a part of me, like, you don't want to lose money in business.
No,
they don't want to lose money. So a part of me is thinking they've lost money.
Yeah.
So the money they put in, they're losing money, right? It's comparatively, especially because, sucks to say, but you have to stack it up to the other brands.
No, 100%. But then also seeing what they do with these other brands is also kind of like wait, hold up. So why can't Rangers get this treatment?
Because they don't bring in what the other brands do.
Like, bro, look at all the stuff that Transformers have.
I know.
Right? Are you telling me? And like, those are always full.
Yeah.
Like, so to me, it doesn't always look like that's really selling.
No, they're selling. It's just, you got to think about it like this. The order that they probably get for Transformers at stores is more because they have more shelf space.
Yes. No, 100%.
Right? And why do they have more shelf space?
Because one, they're putting in the attention to it.
Sure, but I'm saying, and this is me thinking, with a business mind into it, like, just because of like money, right? Like, money in, money out. What they've invested in the Power Rangers, I'm assuming, hasn't given them back, what they're hoping, right? It's like anything. Why would I keep investing, let's say 20 million? I invested 20 million into this franchise for this specific thing, and it only brought back 10.
No, I get that. But also, what risks have they taken for that? Besides purchasing it, besides the Lightning Collection. Because even with Lightning Collection, that's not like, once it got to a certain point, they weren't like promoting it. Like, it was hot.
Yeah.
It was hot at first.
Well, think about it like this. What toys get promoted in general? Like, honestly, none.
Not anymore.
No, toys don't get promoted like that in general. And when they do online, right, when they get promoted online, you don't go off of, like, they go off what I guess people just like. And I'm not saying they don't like Power Rangers. Where Hasbro fails is Hasbro doesn't, I'll say they don't put the marketing into it, right?
Yeah.
Where like, I don't want to sound rude, but I don't think these other Rangers, the Rangers that you could use in filming of your commercial because you're using their likeness anyways on a figure. I don't want to say it's going to break the bank to have them for a day's shoot of a commercial during the week.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I would recommend to them. Hey, man, we have these figures of, Selwyn Ward out here. Why don't we film Selwyn Ward acting like as if he's that Ranger again? They own, like you said, Marcus, the property. They can front it like as if he's back in the suit.
Right?
Computer AI, everything is so easy.
It's very easy. But then not even that. I think my biggest frustration with it, too, is look at freaking G.I. Joe.
Bro. Then it's so popular again.
Crappy movies.
Yeah.
I'm be real. Crappy movies.
Terrible.
Crappy movies.
Sorry.
No one's really talked about it in a, there ain't no cartoon shows of it. There's no, like, they're not even on a Netflix like there are with the millions of Transformers. So the Transformers, I get that because it's a constant thing that's always going, kind of like Ninja Turtles. I get that, but
kinda
it's like
Ninja Turtles.
I mean, there's always going to be something, but there's no like extra cartoons. There's no web series. I don't see no. And let's be real. Have you ever seen any like fan stuff of G.I. Joe? Honestly,
fan stuff
like we have of like Rangers, where there's like all these fan films and like stuff coming out like that, and other actors coming in.
No, you want to know what supports G.I. Joe?
What?
You want to truly know what supports G.I. Joe?
Is it the military?
No.
That's
a good one. That's a good one.
It might be.
Who knows? Underlyingly, we don't know the push, right?
Well, think about it. Anyway.
Well, no, I'm talking like realistically, not conspiracy.
Right.
The age group above us. The age group above us is about late 30, early 40 to 45, right?
Yeah.
They're already kind of set, right? Their lives are already kind of in motion. They're already kind of set. When they see G.I. Joes, nostalgia.
Yeah.
Nostalgia's hitting. My God, these figures are better than any one that's ever been produced by G.I. Joe. They are. They're actually really cool. If you look at them, like I see them, I'm like, dude, this guy's sick. I don't know who it is. Excuse me.
No,
I don't know
they
who
are.
It is, but they look cool, right? I don't know who they are. Cobra, and then they look cool. All that. That group, I think they're willing to put more of their dollar where their mouth is.
Yeah.
And like, it's crazy, but that's what supports these brands.
No, I get it. It's
us, and but you have to put out a product people want.
Exactly.
And I wanted Cosmic Fury stuff. Truth be told, I did. I got super into it. There wasn't a single release of a figure.
And that's I think my biggest thing is that it's like you're not capitalizing on the stuff that you can. And if we talk about like this nostalgia factor that like G.I. Joe brings, you telling me Power Rangers don't? So that's to me, it's also like what we put out here with this stuff, it's kind of cooling down a little bit, talking about the Lightning Collection. But it's also like you're just not going to try anything else. And that's the thing. I think it's just like you're just not trying when you'll go with this one that this franchise that has had no traction, good traction for the past 20, 30 some years, G.I. Joe.
But Marcus, the craziest thing that blew my mind is when it came back out, like this whole thing, dude, people were like flocking to the stores for it.
No, I know, but
I just don't get it. Like, I don't know, like, if maybe the marketing just ain't there. And this sounds messed up, right? Like, is it easier to sell um, animation, CGI characters
then
than
live
human?
action,
Yeah.
possibly,
Because
but
this is where, like, I think too, like with figures and stuff, like, they're supposed to be larger than life and different, right? They're an action figure.
yeah,
Like, what's going on? What's the issue here? Like that, some don't
that
sell.
that might be because when you think about it, um, movie figures, I don't think ever really do good. Like, you know what I'm talking about? When they release like an X-Men movie,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and then they'll release like a legit like figure of like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine or Halle Berry Storm and stuff and
yeah,
they would have like the official marketing up like from the movie. Those are more like, yeah, older fans that are gonna get though, like the hardcore ones, like
yeah.
collectors stuff. But like for kids, I think they want more like the cartoony stuff. But it's also, but saying that though, it's weird because when you think about it, look at the freaking Power Ranger, dude. It's a colorful suit with a
Hmm.
helmet. So it's kind of like a, yeah, I get the lightning collection with like the heads and stuff. But really, when you look at it, it's like this is cartoony in a sense. This isn't. So
Yeah, I know.
it's a weird.
I know. We could
It's a
almost
weird
do like
thing.
a whole episode on this.
Okay.
Like, cause like there's so much like in my head that you're right. Like there's parts they're missing out on hugely, right? You know,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also things we don't know that they're doing, right? They are likely taking surveys out there, right? What kids are into, what
Yeah.
part of the Power Ranger stuff they're into. Maybe they came up with they like the role play items and the Megazords the most, which I could see, right?
Yeah.
You
Who
know,
doesn't love a giant like robot based off a dinosaur?
what I wish they did though, I honestly wish they did, but they won't because they're such a big brand. This is almost like going back to what I said in the beginning. When you get with a smaller brand, is what I wish they did is they would go and do I don't want to say fan funded, but like, hey, we only made 3,000,
Mm-hmm.
right, of Hunter Dino as the Red Ranger figure. We made 3,000. All right, it's $30. You can only purchase this online.
It'll
Go.
sell.
Or, hey, we're doing somewhat of a the order is the order. You have 2 weeks to put in as much purchases as you want for this figure, Power Rangers
Mm-hmm.
set, or even the set.
Yeah.
The only ones that will ever be released is those, or whatever's
Mm-hmm.
bought. You know, like Super 7 kind of does that.
Yeah.
And the Power Ranger figures for Super 7 are cool. Like, I know the actual Rangers are hit or miss for some people. They look cool in
Mm-hmm.
their full suits, but the head scans of humans are always been struggle. But the
Yeah.
monsters are amazing. The Zords are amazing. Like, and the way they do it is the order is almost the order. Like, so, oh, but I got mine on Entertainment Earth. Yeah, it's because Entertainment Earth like purchased like 300 of them,
Yeah.
right? So I didn't have to order direct off Super Set. Like that White Ranger that's coming out looks awesome.
Yeah. No, it's
3-0 too, the ones that do the big ones, right?
mm-hmm.
I have a Red Ranger Dragon Shield one. Um, that's sick. Like those are sick. Like, and they have Zeo coming out, and like people are buying those.
Yeah, those Zeo. I've seen the Zeo one.
But there's only so many made.
Yeah.
You know, like, and like NECA, like we see NECA, there's NECA section over there by the Funko and
Mm-hmm.
at Targets and by Walmarts and other places like that. Those are big licenses,
Yeah.
but they only probably make so many.
Yeah. No. And I think that's probably like when it comes to like all this Ranger stuff showing up at these like I don't want to say lesser stores, but like Ross.
Discount store.
Yes, discount stores, and they're for like $8. Well, that's because they're overproduced.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of where they got smart with the Master Morpher.
Yeah.
because let's be real, they only made so many. Plus, let's be real, it was gonna sell. It's gonna sell regardless, no matter how much they made.
Yeah,
they could have been like, we're gonna make an unlimited amount of these. It's still gonna sell out.
I think you're right.
It's still gonna sell out. Let's be real. When it's Tommy, that's kind of it. Like, it's Tommy. That's all you got to.
Weren't they gonna make a couple more? They said something like that. Like,
I think they were gonna do, because they did a second wave of them, and those sold out within that same day. So it's, I think the bigger problem here was that they're just mass producing and kind of doing a like, hey, we're only gonna do maybe like 1,000 of this, 500 of this. That may solve your problem there.
I like that, by the way.
But hey, I ain't in charge of stuff. No one asked me. I don't work for Hasbro.
Man, they might have done well if they asked you.
I'm just saying.
Bro, I'm out there, guys.
Y'all want a hell of a fun season? Shoot.
Yo, I'm here. I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
No, but you're right. I feel like they need some help. Like, truthfully, they need some help. Be interesting to see how it goes going forward, right? Like, I don't know. I just said it because, like, there's not a lot of juice right now, man. Like, there's really not. Like,
no.
And I get it. There is a ton of juice there, right? There is a ton of juice there to squeeze, but if you don't want to squeeze it, what you gonna do, right? Like,
just like Timothy Oliphant's character said in The Girl Next Door, is the juice worth the squeeze?
I know.
Now, to me and you, it might be.
But we're also not like a multi-million, almost billion-dollar company, though.
Mm-hmm. That you can just do all this, like, hey, we're gonna get a better return off these little ponies and stuff. Well,
I know. Isn't that true? I mean, I get it, like, because we don't maybe, that's not what we're really looking at, right?
No, not at all.
But, like, I get it, bro. Like, that's how they do it. That's how they make money around here.
At the end of the day, it's a business thing. So
yeah, like I understand it completely. Like,
but I would still be that person that's like, you're doing your business bad.
Like, if you go on their website now, Hasbro polls, like, there's a huge old HasLab ready for another Transformer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what else they promote a lot?
What?
Marcus? And I don't blame them. Huge fan base. Star Wars.
Oh, duh.
Oh,
that's one of those things, like, that's never going to go away.
No. You know what I am tripping on, though, and I'm so surprised. By the way, Transformers, bro. Like, Omega Prime, 2001 Omega Prime. This is the HasLab, right? Insane, right? Big O thing. $250, right? The $250, they needed $10,000 to get it back. They're at $14,000.
Wow.
How many days do they have left? Almost 25.
Hey, just imagine what they could get if they did that with the pink and black helmet. With the weapons and all that.
Do you want to feel bad, G.I. Joe?
No, stop.
G.I. Joe had one that wasn't that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Theirs is going to be estimated to ship in summer of 2024. It's a helicopter, assault copter, dragonfly, with some figures and big O helicopter, right? It's big. They needed 10,000 backers, $275.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many backers they have, Marcus? Almost 25,000.
But of course.
Bro, like, you want to hear Star Wars?
No.
They had the vintage Ghost ship, right? Huge O ship, right? Big O thing. They needed 8,000, right? And you know how much this costed? $500. They needed 8,000 backers. Almost 22,000. Yeah. Moving on. Power Rangers Dino Thunder. You're like, dude, what the heck? I know. I know, dog.
I'm just saying, man. I got my tax refunds. I'll back some Ranger stuff, Hasbro. What we doing? What we doing?
Oh man, shout out to you. You get money back.
Hey, shout out to my Tia Tina. She hooked your boy up. She know what she was doing.
I'm just trying not to pay as much as I did last year. But anyways,
I just go in honestly every year. I was like, just don't hit me on some Wesley Snipes. Make sure these numbers are good and accurate, and I'm fine, and I ain't going to jail. So
pretty much. Let's get into the heart of this episode, the real deal of what we're going to talk about, Holyfield. Some Power Rangers Dino Thunder. The first episode we did about this was just about the beginnings of it.
Yeah.
The second episode was about Tommy Oliver coming back as the Black Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
This episode, we're going to talk about the Fifth Ranger, the White Ranger, the White Dino Ranger,
mm-hmm.
Trent Mercer, or Fernandez Mercer.
And hey, was he adopted by Miss Evelyn?
Uh-huh. Let's talk about this. Marcus, when Trent popped up in the episode, did you already know that he's going to be a Ranger?
I felt like it, like when he pops in, because there was so much emphasis on him. Mm-hmm. And sometimes Rangers kind of, well, nowadays they just introduce a person in that same episode, boom, they're a Ranger. Trent was a slow burn, because that was kind of what they did back in like Mighty Morphin, Zia, like remember with like Curtis.
Yeah, that's why I brought that up.
Zach's cousin Curtis, people were thinking, hey, maybe he could have been the White Ranger. Or even what's his face? Ernie's nephew that Trini was crushing on. Who Ernie's I nephew. Want to know, is he Min's father? Who is Min's father? I want to know that. Anyway, but like, you know, just stuff like that, these characters that kind of come in, and even like homeboy looking like Howard Stern in Zio, remember? Like that David guy? That they're like, whoa, is this dude like the Gold Ranger? Like, they kind of have that thing where it's kind of like, you never know. And they kind of did that here, which was nice, because it's always like this slow burn. They want you to like them, or they get you to like them. So then finally, when you know like something's coming, it's like, okay, suit them up already, you know?
Yeah, they're big on that.
Yeah. But they kind of don't do that anymore, which is, I mean, they kind of did that with Fern in Cosmic Fury. Like everyone knew, of course, it was leaked that there was going to be an Orange Ranger, but it was like kind of like the slow burn with her. Homegirl didn't get the Ranger's power, so what? The final 3 episodes?
Yeah.
Like, it was a while, but we knew it was coming. But when it finally did, it was kind of like you can kind of like take the sigh of relief, like, oh, okay, it's here, it's done. And so with Trent, though, like, yeah, it was, they had that slow burn with him, which was nice.
For real. When I first saw him, I was like, oh, okay. I kind of thought the same thing. I'm like, this guy's going to be something. He's getting a lot of attention. And, you know, he got a little more than like normal, right?
Yeah.
He got a little more than normal. And, man, let's just say, like, he right away, like, to me, he looks so cool. Like, I have to say it. Like,
let's
right off
real.
the bat.
His suit is probably the best suit in Ranger history.
Oh man, I can't say that, but you can. Go ahead.
It's up there. That the red visor.
It's sick.
All mostly because of the red visor. No one had that until, let's be real, he had it, and then here comes Draken with the red visor. We know where you got that from.
And like, yeah. And by the way, like, I thought it was a cool play that, hey, we have a white dino gym.
Yeah.
And I know, Tommy, man, sorry, like, you missed out on the white dino gym.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I just thought it was interesting because, like, that happened. Suddenly, this kid's, you know, this teenager suddenly wants to follow. Where's my father going all the time?
Yeah.
Didn't you find that interesting?
Yeah, the slow burn of it was like that. So it's like introducing him. Oh, he's Anton Mercer's like And it was before you knew he was Mesogog.
Mm-hmm.
It was like you knew he had some dealings with Mesogog. You didn't know to what extent, though. You just
I mean,
knew homie could not be trusted. But then, oh dang, here's a portal popping up. And he's just
yeah.
like, when you think about it, it's kind of sad in a sense. Like Trent's story, it's almost like he's beefing with his dad because homie just wants to be an artist, go to art school and all that. His dad's like, no, you gotta do. Well, first of all, let's be real. Homie's an orphan.
Yeah.
Let's just let's just put it out there too. Homie's an orphan. He's living with this like industry titan guy that wants him to do business, do school, all this stuff, blah blah. Forget your passions for art. But then not only that, all this weird stuff is going on. Think about it. The three kind of friends he has at school running off all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He got his teacher, his science teacher is part of this, and his boss is like the tech person of it.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, it's like I don't want to say he was like a bystander, but he was definitely like he was going to get sucked into this world. It was inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the fact that all this is going on, and then he gets this gem that kind of turns him crazy.
Yeah. Very green with evil vibe.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Very green with evil vibe from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, man, weird. It's almost like they're gonna have to break it or somehow, huh? They're gonna have to break this spell, huh?
Well, it's funny too because then once he does show up as the White Ranger and he demolishes the team,
Mm-hmm.
they're like, "What do you mean? There's like an evil Ranger?" And Tommy just has that look, like, but he's kind of pissed though too. He's like, it's been known to happen."
Yeah.
But he's like, Tommy's like, that's the thing I noticed about this. Tommy's mad during a lot of this,
Yeah.
like arc, which is weird because you would think like, hey, dude, kind of, you were the similar way, kind of take it easy on
But
him
he
a little bit.
also, I wonder if he was like mad because it's happening again to someone.
Probably that, and I think because now he's the mentor,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like, because let's be real, once Trent is on the team, he's all about like, all right, let's, we should welcome him and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But while they're going against him, I think he was kind of like mad because it's like, one, he missed it because we knew he knew all about we knew he had a way of finding the Black Dino gem.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like he's, I think, upset that he missed it, and the fact that he missed it, it's led to this.
Mm-hmm.
Now
You're right.
these kids that are not only his students, but so it's like he's responsible for them in their like personal lives at school, but he's like in their extracurriculars as being Rangers. It's like, man.
Yeah. No, you're right. And like when this all happened, right? Part one does all this. Like you said, Marcus, he kicks their butt. Like he dominates them, which weirdly, eerily reminiscent to the Green with Evil saga.
Uh-huh.
Like keep saying that, but this is just, it's funny how this works. And it's also smart because you have the guy that was on the other end, right?
Yes.
During this. And I was like, okay, like I like this. This is smart. They should keep doing this. When he comes out to me and like just starts dominating them, right? There's nothing they can really do. They're keeping people busy, right? And let's talk about how he got a Zord, though. Let's talk about that. To me, that's like money. Like that's like, Tommy had a Dragon Zord already.
Yeah.
This was pretty like, I don't want to say mean, but like, no, this is mine. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No. It's weird. I feel like there are certain Rangers that are very, like, I know every Ranger has their Zord, but I feel like every now and then there are some that are just like it's almost like a package deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
With their Zord. Um, Green Ranger, Dragon Zord. White Ranger, Tiger Zord. Even Falcon Zord, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Eric, the Quantum Ranger, our boy Dan,
yeah,
Q-Rex.
yeah.
Even to a certain extent, maybe like the T-Rex Zord in Mighty Morphin and the Dragon Zord, because they were kind of standalones in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, the white Drago Zord,
Mm-hmm.
which it's so clean, and really, I know it's not really a dragon. It's because I actually looked it up like when I was a kid, because one of your boys into like dinosaurs and stuff. So this is
Yeah, yeah,
dinosaurs
yeah.
and Power Rangers, and I'm like, that just looks like a giant pterodactyl. Well, what it's actually based off, that I'm gonna see if I can say this correctly. The Tupac Sora, bro, it was huge. These things are huge, or they were huge. So,
Yeah, yeah,
and I
and
guess I'm
like,
trying to say like the dragon because it's cool, because it's like, it's
no, yeah,
different.
like,
It
and
seems
he
way
like his suit is almost dragon-like.
yeah, and it's like, who, how, what's he gonna, especially like with this season, they always kind of shorten the Zord names. Like instead of Triceratops, it's just Tricera, Terra,
Yeah,
Tyranno, Brachio. What are they gonna say? Like Tupac, Tupac? They just say,
Shakur.
oh, right? But it's like, so I get
We're
like the
talking
Drago,
Shakur.
but it was just cool though, because that was a Zord even on its own, and then stealing the Stego Zord from them,
Hmm.
dog.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so he
Yeah.
had his own Zord, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he like point blank stole the other Zord, which then really let him get his Megazord going.
Yeah.
And his looks sick. Like, I've always kind of liked I sometimes like the less bulky
Mm-hmm.
because it looks like it can move.
Yeah. There's something about his Zord that was always kind of I think it was also the fact that I had like claws, like claw
Hmm.
fingers, that kind of made it look even more menacing too.
Yeah, dude. So like when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's to me. I was like, that's sick. Like this guy,
Mm-hmm.
he has his own Zord, right? Reminiscent of a Falcon type Zord, right? We can just say
Yes.
it like that. And then, nah, I ain't done. I'ma steal yo Zord.
Yeah.
Like, how jacked up is that? Like when you think about that.
Yeah. He homies straight beat them down
Uh huh.
and then stealing their Zords.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
He was like, nah, bruh. Like basically, it was like, nah, this is mine.
mm-hmm.
Like, isn't that a trip when you think about it like that?
It's pretty awesome, honestly.
Yeah. Like I was like, dude, this is sick. Like looking back, right? Like how cool
Mm-hmm.
it was. And they couldn't really do much about it. And
No. And
they
that's why
keep,
Tommy kind of tells them, like, enjoy your life, try to have some fun, enjoy your life. And they leave, he's like, while you can.
yeah, because of how hard things are gonna be. Like
Yeah.
Tommy wasn't stupid. Like Tommy knew, like, dude, like we're in for it against this guy.
Yeah.
Like he's done this. Like he goes, like we're gonna have a hard time, boys and girl. Like we're gonna struggle.
Yeah.
And like they did, they struggled. But that's how these stories go, right?
Mm-hmm.
The stories always go like that. Like they need some struggle, because they've been winning,
Yeah,
right?
they have, like, let's be real. This whole season they
Very.
were just,
Go ahead.
yeah, they're like, they win all the time. And I get that's kind
Very
of like
similar
Rangers in
to.
general, like
Uh,
have a happy ending. But these ones weren't really like it was just like a, hey, we survived.
yeah, but it's just funny because it's like similar to Green with Evil, man. And I keep saying that because it's true. Like
Oh,
that's
but
what this I think they were going for.
100%.
They wanted that with
100%.
this. Nothing
This
wrong with
was,
that, by the way.
no, because like I said before, this is let's be real, it's a sequel series. This
Hmm.
is a sequel series. Um and let's be real, a lot of times when these like movie reboot sequels and stuff happen, they take a lot of elements from the first movie, and sometimes
Yeah.
they kind of just remake the show or the movie that came before it, like that's based off of,
Mhm.
and they just kind of update it. This is very much that, but it's done in a good way though. It's not like a full-blown copycat. Like this wasn't 5 episodes with a lot of filler in there. These were 3 episodes that were like boom, boom, boom.
Mhm.
Like, here's the introduction of him beating y'all down. Now he has a Zord, steals your Zord. Oh, well, you reprogrammed it, got away, but you still know he has his capabilities.
Mhm.
And then the third one, it's just getting even more like the bigger battle. Because then with the final one, this is when you get a little bit of hope when him and Connor get into it, and Connor unlocks the Super Dino
Hey, weird. Very similar to Jason, Tommy, right?
mode. Yeah, yeah.
Very weird. Like,
And plus, too, this is when you get more of the, like I said, like sequel stuff, kind of rebuilding stuff. Just on the flips, well, not on the flip side, but during this time, just the whole B story of this is Cassidy and Devin going out, like trying to find the identity of the Power Rangers.
yeah,
Because they're working for the news station, all that. Their boss is like, "Hey, either find me a story on the Rangers, or like who they are, or you're fired."
yeah.
And so
And
that's
you
a
know what? I
sort of,
like that though. That's kind of like realism too.
yeah, and it is a throwback, of course, to Bulk and Skull. Like, I feel like they were like the best sort of reimagining of them in a
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah.
Because all these seasons later, I've always tried to have like the comedic duo.
Hmm.
But people forget at first Bulk and Skull were just like mean. They weren't like comedic.
No, they're
They were
bullies.
they were just bullies that would always get their comeuppance. But they got more comedic when they were trying to discover who the Rangers were.
Yeah.
And that's now what happens with Cassidy and Devin. Like Cassidy's obviously the evil mean girl, which was, let's be real, that was a thing thanks to Mean Girls. That's
Well, and I think that was almost like societal, like at the
mhm,
time. Like
yeah,
that was a thing. Like, oh, there's mean girls here.
yeah, that was very much a thing. And
Yeah.
then Devin coming in, and then it's just like, it's funny. She was more of the Bulk, and he was more Skull.
Hmm.
But it's just like, but now it's like they have to find the identity, which honestly, the one thing, this is my one big gripe with Dino Thunder. I do have a gripe with it.
Oh,
There's a part
okay.
when when she buys that tape from that guy, from that little kid who's like, "Yeah, I got a tape of the White Ranger," and he is clearly being voiced over, like homie probably had like a Australian accent that was so freaking thick you couldn't cut through it. And homie just gives this like whole speech, and every time he shows up, it always bugs me. That little
Really?
kid, he always bugs me just because of the voice.
Wow.
I know, sorry, but
Interesting.
that's the one thing I really disliked about the season. That was it.
It's in his whole build up, right? To finally fight Connor, right?
Yeah.
They have this build up. They fight it out. And then we get to what we always do, right, Marcus? Like he changes,
Yeah.
right? Trent changes. Like, how do you think that was? Like, looking back at it now, were you still like this? Because even as kids, we knew, right? Like, he's probably going to be on their side, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, right? Because we've never. I mean, you've had it right where there's Rangers that are kind of stay bad for a bit, like the Thunder Rangers, or excuse me, yeah, during Ninja Storm, like they were bad, but
Hmm.
then they were like, whatevs, like we're in the middle here, right? What did you
Yeah.
think about Trent, like finally coming around?
I think with Trent's whole thing, it was interesting because it was very layered. It wasn't just like a he's good now, so he's gonna fight along with his friends, but now he has to fight against his father, who he knows is evil. Like he knows his dad is Mesogog. Like because this goes past the initial 3-part saga of the White Thunder to where like homie's like reveling in it, and it's not just like because he had a very much like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type thing where he's fighting against it, like. But there was a point when this is when Trent was getting like super strong. He just gave into it, and homie was a jerk, and he's just like, I'm that bad dude. And I especially love that there's a scene where it's so cool. Homie's just all in white. He got that like flowy pants, that long sleeve white flowy shirts, and he's just backing up Tyrannus Jones, beating him down like nothing. And he's telling Mesogog, and like it's crazy. His dad's almost kind of worried for him.
Yeah,
he's like a dude, Trent, this isn't good. You're getting. He's like, what you talking about? I'm stronger. I'm going to beat those Rangers. Like he's fully gave into it. But now, of course, the switch happens. But it's like he's like, I'm gonna help these guys. But now this means I gotta fight against my dad. And Jeffrey Perazzo, when you talk about people that give like amazing performances, and I know that, like I said earlier in this episode, I don't expect like these amazing Academy Award winning performances from like actors and stuff and Power Rangers. But this like homie played that like role very well. Like you just felt the whole time this is truly this like teenage kid stuck in the middle of all this stuff going on.
Yeah. No, you're right. Like it's a trip, dude. Like some of that he played so well, right? Like he did. I think he did awesome. And I do like though that they didn't turn him completely like with the team right away.
Yeah.
And that part made it different. You know, honestly. Like that part made it really different.
And I think
compared to Green with Evil, that is.
Oh yeah. But that's also due to, and I think this is where we talk about like how homie kind of got nerfed a little bit once he was on their team. But I think, that's all due to the fact that like in the Abre Ranger Super Sentai series, homie stayed evil against them the whole time. Like he would help them every now and then, but it wasn't like oh, I'm helping you because I want to. It was like, I'm helping you because I have to. It's very begrudgingly. So there was stuff like that, and then he never fully became a member of the team. He ended up getting killed in the Super Sentai series. So really, that was like why a lot of times in like these battles and stuff, like right before they go out, like in a couple episodes, Tommy will be like, Trent, stay back because this is like, I don't want you to come in here. I might take advantage of you being out there or something. That's why. Because this is before, because they weren't, this is the thing about the Disney era. They weren't out here being like Saban era and even Cosmic Fury, where they're like, hey, we'll just film our own footage for this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, no. It's just like we got this footage. That's what we're using. And that's what we're sticking to.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
So let's talk about now your love for this White Dino Ranger. Let's talk about that. I wanted to finish off this last part of talking about this saga with how much of a fan you are of this. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Just the saga or the White Ranger?
The White Dino Ranger.
I just think, honestly, he's probably the strongest. Like, if you were to fully like unleash him and just let him do him, especially once he hits that Super Dino mode, dude, there's no stopping him. There's no stopping him. He has, to me, one of the, if not the best, like the coolest Ranger suit ever. Like, just the lines, the shield, the helmet, the red visor. Like, he just looks so cool. Like, he honestly looks like he doesn't even belong in that group or anything. Like, he's just on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's always cool.
Okay. All right. Is that why he's the best?
I think he's pretty, like, honestly, I feel like he's pretty strong.
I know. I'm wanting to know who you have as the best, dog.
Like, when it comes to, I know he's not technically a sixth ranger because there never was a sixth ranger in Dino Thunder,
Mm-hmm.
but he's still in that category of six rangers. Out of all of them, if you, let's be real, we take out Tommy, but even then, I think like at his full strength, he would work Tommy pretty hard. Tommy would have a hard time.
All right. Can I break down this list? And I thought it was actually a pretty decent list they put together. It's on the Flixist, and this was in 2020 at the time. So take that for what it's worth. And I'm just going to read you the top 10. All right. Don't give me any reactions until after you hear their top 10.
Okay.
All right, and we can do a whole episode. That would be a fun episode, actually, on who's the best Sixth Ranger. I think this would be great. Let's talk about it. So, top 10, Marcus, okay? Just hear me out on these top 10. Okay? At number 10, the Green Samurai Ranger from Ninja Storm. At number 9, Zane, Silver Ranger in space. At number 8, White Dino Ranger from Dino Thunder. At number 7, it's going to hurt, Shadow Ranger, SPD. At number 6, Magna Defender, Lost Galaxy. At number 5, Titanium Ranger. At number 5, nope, come on, wait it out. At number 4, Gold Ranger Zeo. At number 3, White Ranger Mighty Morphin. At number 2, Quantum Ranger Time Force. And at number 1, Green Ranger. Thoughts?
That list is so bad. That list is so bad. But then also, I feel like there's nuance too, because we're going to say that. Which Gold Ranger is it? Is it Trey or Jason? Because to me, there's a difference.
Yeah. Well, do you want to hear? Maybe let's go.
Also, dude, right? Hey, right, what that Titanium? Dude, Titanium Ranger is bottom of the list, dog. I would say him and Zane are the bottom 2. Because to me, Zane wasn't that like, he was a good addition in the sense of like, ooh, we got another person on the team, but it's not like he to me was never like a trump card, like most Sixth Rangers are.
You know what? I still think Blue Centurion got a lot to talk about here. Okay. All right, so you understand Blue Centurion. I can give you another top 10 that was given.
All right.
If you want to hear it. This one's by Screen Rant. From
I think I've seen this before.
This was recent, within the last month.
Oh, then no, this is new then. Okay.
All right. Number 10, Dino Thunder Black Ranger Tommy Oliver.
Okay.
And number 9, Ninja Storm Green Ranger. Number 8, this one's wild to me, Mighty Morphin White Ranger. 8, okay. Zeo Gold Ranger is number 7, and it's both of them.
Okay.
Number 6, interesting one. Sick Megazord. Wild Force Lunar Wolf. Merrick. Now, this is going to hurt your feelings. I love this guy, so I'm all for him. In Space Silver Ranger Zane. Number 5. Number 4, Eric, Quantum Ranger. Number 3, this hurts both of our feelings. Titanium Ranger. Everyone loves this guy, by the way, Ryan Mitchell. Number 2, Dino Thunder White Ranger. And number 1, Green Ranger, Tom Oliver. You know what's crazy? We'll have to do a huge episode on this. This will be fun. But White Ranger is better than Green Ranger deep down.
Oh, he's supposed to be.
He's supposed to be.
He's supposed to be. He was supposed to be like the, in a sense, let's be real. He's Jesus.
He's the second coming.
It was. Was it not? The second coming? Descending from the cloud. No, dude. I hated that, bro. I always thought it was so awkward. Like, dude, why you just got your like junk up in the air like that? Just like, yeah, I'm coming. Like, you know. Anyway, man,
that's how they got down, dude. That's how they got down then. Shout out to the 90s.
We'll have to do a whole nother episode on that list.
Yeah, so we'll have to break them all down. That'd be fun.
That would be.
We could even do maybe the next time, because we're gonna, finish up Dino Thunder, or just thoughts overall in the next episode. And then we can break down the 6 Rangers, maybe in a couple episodes. So as we're winding down, any last thoughts you want to say?
White Dino Thunder should always be top 3 regardless. That's
all right. I'm not hating on it, so.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Anything that you want to, shout out, promote, anything like that?
I'm gonna give a shout out, and we're gonna promote this new podcast that my co-host over here is doing. What was it? Swish Hits Kicks.
Swishes, Hits, and Kicks. I recorded an episode before we started this, so I got to edit that today.
Oh, damn. I'm putting in that work. It's a whole new thing. And I'll put it like this. I got some business stuff I'll talk to you about when we're done with this.
Okay.
But, it's some good stuff coming, though. We out here. We hustling.
We doing some things, and it's just different. Like this one, like I told Marcus, it's fun to me. Like, literally everything is recorded and done on this. Like, I'm talking everything, guys. The editing and everything is on this. There are some things that I have to use for a laptop, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's some things I have to use for a computer, like uploading to YouTube, other things, extracting audio, because this is audio as well. It's audio as well. You have to use a computer. But everything else, I'm trying to do it on my phone, because I'm like, I want to see it. And eventually, I think you said it, and my brothers told me it too, because you guys both know. They're both like, you need to get a good iPad, and you could really do everything like that right then and there. And that's what you told me that too before. And my brother recently.
I'm running with a model of an iPad that's years old. It's a couple gens old. I can still do all my stuff.
My brother was telling me to get one of those too, though.
Yeah. So imagine
saying that a few years old is still good.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can find those on Marketplace, right?
Yeah.
That's what he was telling me on Marketplace. You can probably find a few years old. He goes, because he said that he goes, he knows. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
You a Best Buy guy. I would use another word, but I'm trying to keep it clean nowadays. As best as I can.
Plus it's our month.
Shout outs. But actually, we can do that episode before February's over. If you want. It's a special.
Okay.
Let's do it. I'm down.
All right.
Anyways, I was going to tell you, man, I don't even know if you've noticed. All right. What was our YouTube number we needed to hit?
We were trying to hit 50, right?
We're over.
Oh, well, I knew when we hit 50 because I was right there when we hit it. Talking some business stuff, and that was a whole business stuff I'm gonna get into with
okay, but hey guys, we hit it, so we're gonna figure something out. All right, this is it. Marcus let him know. He already told you Swishes, Hits, and Kicks pod. 2 times a week. You'll see it's most likely Tuesday, Saturday. And that's it. End of the episode. Hit them out with it.
It's your boys. It's Richard. It's Marcus. We Rangers of the Grid. We got it. Grocery bag. Yeah.